All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Metal Church isn't a band that I would typically get involved with as far as talking about them on the channel. It's a bit out of my wheelhouse, like I explained. Back in the 80s, I used to do a heavy metal show, and me and the other co-host, we obviously were really into Metal Church for at least their debut album, maybe their second album, but we did play their music on the show. Um, and that's about as connected with Metal Church as I've ever been. Now, their lead vocalist, Mike Howe, has left planet Earth, and people are speculating as to why and what happened. Police showed up and said there were no drugs, no alcohol. The band made this very cryptic statement yesterday. And recently, there have been a lot of mysterious disappearances. We'll put it that way. People who were alive and then no illness, and then they're no longer alive. So I have been monitoring this a little bit, and I've cited examples. A video I did yesterday, I've decided to pull down out of respect for Mike Howe and his family, because maybe I speculated a little bit too much in that video. Nobody sent me messages saying you really should take it down. I didn't get any real feedback other than the fact that this could be more related to medications that Mike Howe was getting, as far as maybe prescription medications. And look, again, trying to be blunt here, a lot of these doctors, rather than try to eliminate symptoms, they try to treat symptoms rather than getting to the root cause of those symptoms. It's much easier to prescribe some kind of opioid. And again, I'm not saying that was the issue either, because we're running out of things it could be. The way the band came at this, it sounded as if they were going after the thing that you're supposed to do when you go to CVS and Walgreens these days, and there are signs on the side of the roads, and there's blinking, flashing neon billboard signs when you go under the bridges where you can do this and so forth. And we've learned, by the way, in the last 24 hours, that it appears that none of this stuff works. None of it seems to work. All right. And you can have your opinion on this as much as you'd like, but based on things that are coming out, it seems like it doesn't work. So that adds a little bit of intrigue and puts this in flux even more so than when I did the video yesterday. Here's the deal: is the band came out and blasted Big Pharma, absolutely excoriated them. Now, today, or between when I did that video and now, the band has retracted their statements. Somebody told them, you can't do this, you can't say this. And they made it political. They said in the article that, oh, well, the band might have a political viewpoint which doesn't match up with the prevailing wind here within the rock community. Because this is mind-blowing. Like I said in a video about Ted Nugent, Van Morrison, Eric Clapton, everybody has to think the same way, or you basically get othered, you get disappeared, you're called a conspiracy theorist. And folks, we're talking about a band called Metal Church here. All right, this isn't, inside the halls of government. This is just a rock band. And people, by the way, in rock bands, in society, in life, they might not share your view on everything. And it's weird. It's a community of people that are supposed to all think alike, I guess. And I've seen evidence, like article after article, that gets promoted, as if, okay, this is our gospel, you follow it. It's cultic behavior. I'm going to keep saying it. Go read some Stephen Hassan. He's got 2 books out there that are highly recommended. One of them is called Freedom of Mind. Stephen Hassan was in a cult the Unification Church for a number of years. The only reason I suggest it is because he is probably America's foremost cult expert. But I'm seeing cultic behavior, oh, what did you just say? Okay, you can't say that. You need to stop saying that. So again, my thoughts and prayers go out to Mike Howe and his family. Now, I'll say this. If it is the second possibility that is being discussed now, that's not much better than the first thing that I brought up. They're related. It's the same people who are manufacturing these products, and there's no liability many times. And you take this risk, and a lot of times you don't have the information you need to make good decisions. So these guys were obviously upset, and they issued a truthful statement, but they've decided to kind of say, hey, we might want to go back out on tour next year. We might want to regroup or something. I don't know what they're thinking here, but is it really worth just tossing the truth aside because everybody is telling you to think the same way? And what are you protecting? What is so important that you need to protect here? I mean, if you want to protect Mike Howe, I get that. You should. And yes, if he fell victim to something that you believe could have been prevented if people weren't so greedy, because it's typically about money. It's not about trying to make someone healthy. That's not what this is about. This is the easy way out of doing maybe the hard thing. Maybe, again, like I said at the beginning, diagnosing the problem and working on the problem rather than just treating the after effects of the problem. And the way the world is going right now, if Mike Howe was struggling with that stuff, I can completely understand. I can completely get that. And there are a lot of people out there right now struggling with this. And this is what's called collateral damage, folks. So that's my update to the video I did yesterday. Again, I don't want to speculate about what Mike did or didn't do prior. It sure did. They even said in the article, it sure did sound like the band was inferring, especially when they said like poisonous venom. That to me, like a bee will sting you or a snake will bite you. That is, an analogy. They came really close. It's like they were right on the edge of saying something and they stopped short. And now they've retracted. So I don't think they should have retracted, but again, you don't know what kind of pressure they got. And even if it is the lesser of the two evils here, it's still evil. It's still evil. And people should be held accountable.